Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English Mastery Hub. My name is Liam Carter, and I am so happy you are here with me today. This podcast is for learners like you, learners who want to take small steps every day to grow in English. Maybe you can already read some English. Maybe you listen to English music or watch English movies, but you want to do more. You want to speak with confidence. You want to open your mouth and let the words flow. Today I will share with you one simple technique that can really change the way you practice English. The good news is, you don't need a teacher or even a speaking partner. You can do this all by yourself, anywhere and anytime. Let me ask you a question. Have you studied English grammar for many years? Maybe you know the rules of past tense, present tense, and future tense. Maybe you can write long sentences on paper. But when you try to speak, your mind feels blocked. The words do not come out. You pause, you feel nervous, and sometimes you even stay silent. This is a very common problem. Many learners face the same thing. Maybe you listen to English a lot. You watch movies, listen to podcasts, and hear songs. You understand many words, you understand the story, and you feel happy. But when it is your turn to speak, you cannot make the same sentences. The words are in your mind, but they do not come out of your mouth. That is the problem. You see, grammar books cannot make you fluent. They give you knowledge, but not the real skill of speaking. Listening is good for your ears, but listening alone will never give you confidence. The truth is simple. To speak better, you must actually speak. Speaking is like exercise. You cannot become strong by only reading about sports. You must move your body. In the same way, you cannot become fluent by only reading or listening. You must use your mouth, your voice, and your brain together. But then comes the question, what if you don't have anyone to talk to in English? What if you live in a place where no one speaks English? What if you feel shy to ask people to practice with you? Many learners stop here. They think, I cannot improve without a partner. They wait, they hope, but they do not practice. And slowly, they lose motivation. But my friends, I am here to tell you that you do not need to stop. You do not need to wait for a partner. You can practice by yourself, and you can improve step by step. And today, I will show you exactly how. This is where many learners make a mistake. They think speaking practice is only possible when you have another person with you. Maybe they wait for a teacher, maybe they wait for a classroom, or maybe they hope to meet a native speaker one day. They believe without these things, real speaking is not possible. But this idea is not true. If you keep waiting for the perfect situation, you will wait forever. The truth is, you can start right now, even if you are alone. Think about this. When a baby learns to speak, do they always have someone correcting every word? They repeat sounds, they copy voices, they try again and again by themselves. In the same way, you can train your English speaking muscles alone. You don't need to sit in a big classroom. You don't need to travel to another country. You don't need to find a native speaker every day. What you really need is practice with your own voice, and you already have that. Maybe you are thinking, but if I speak alone, who will correct me? This is a good question, but don't let it stop you. The main goal is not to be perfect. The main goal is to be active. When you speak out loud, even if no one listens, your mouth learns the movements, your brain makes the connections, and slowly you begin to feel more natural. Every time you say a sentence, you are building confidence. Imagine you are at home, in your room. You can read a simple English story and say the sentences aloud. You can describe what you see around you. You can even talk about your day as if you are telling a friend. At first it feels strange, maybe even funny, but soon it becomes normal. And when you finally meet someone to practice with, you will be ready. You will not feel blocked or empty, because you already practiced many times before. So, don't wait. Don't believe the mistake that practice only happens with other people. Real fluency begins when you take action by yourself. If you use your own voice every day, step by step, you will see progress faster than you ever imagined. Here is the technique I want to teach you. It is called imitation. Now, when I say imitation, I don't mean just repeat in words like a parrot. A parrot can copy sounds, but a parrot does not understand the meaning. What I mean is something different. It is listening to a story, a short conversation, or maybe a small speech, and then saying the same idea again, but this time in your own words. This is very powerful. Let me show you exactly how it works, step by step, with a very simple story. When I was a child, my parents liked to pretend. Maybe your parents did the same sometimes. They told us that Santa Claus would bring us presents at Christmas. So, every Christmas morning, my brothers, my sisters, and I would wake up and see gifts in front of the fireplace. We were so happy and excited. Now, if you were practicing imitation, this is what you would do. First, you listen to me carefully. You listen to the story. You do not need to understand every single word. You just need to understand the main idea. Then you pause. After the pause, you try to say the same thing again, but this time in your own way. So, for example, you might say, when he was a child, his parents pretended that Santa Claus brought presents at Christmas. He and his siblings woke up and found gifts in front of the fireplace. Do you see what happened here? You did not repeat word by word. You did not just copy like a machine. You listened, you understood, and then you rebuilt the idea with your own words. This is not just listening. This is not just repeating. This is speaking practice. Real speaking practice. Why is this so powerful? Because this method trains your brain to think in English. When you do this, you stop translating from your native language. You stop worrying about perfect grammar. You simply take an idea and you express it in English. And every time you do it, you become faster, smoother, and more confident. Imagine you do this every day. You listen to one short story or one short conversation. Then you pause and you try to say the idea again in your own words. Maybe the first time you try, you will be slow. Maybe you will forget some words. That is okay. Do not worry. That is part of the process. The second time, you will do better. The third time, you will do even better. With practice, your brain will get used to this. You will notice that words come to you more quickly. Sentences will flow more easily. This method also helps you build natural sentences. Why? Because you are listening to real English, and then you are practicing it yourself. You are not just studying grammar rules on paper. You are using real language, and you are training your mouth, your tongue, and your mind to work together. This is how fluency grows. So, the next time you hear a short English story, I want you to stop, pause, then open your mouth and try to say the same thing in your own way. Do not wait for a partner. Do not wait for a teacher. You can do this alone, anytime, anywhere. And every time you do it, you take one more step toward real fluency. Every day, you can train your English speaking by using imitation. Imitation means to copy the way someone speaks, and then try to say it in your own words. If you follow this step-by-step method, you will see big progress. Let me show you exactly how to do it. First, you need to start small. Do not try to speak long sentences at the beginning. Just listen to a short phrase, maybe 3 or 4 words. For example, you hear someone say, "It is a sunny day." You pause the audio, and then you say the same words. Repeat them clearly. Say, "It is a sunny day." Try to copy the sound, the rhythm, and the voice. Do this with many small phrases. It is simple, but it builds your speaking power. Second, after you feel comfortable, move to longer sentences. Listen to one complete sentence. For example, "I like to drink coffee in the morning because it gives me energy." Pause, and then say the same sentence. At first it feels difficult, but with practice, you will improve. Try to keep the same meaning. Your mouth will get used to longer sounds. Your brain will get faster at building sentences. This step is very important because it trains your memory and fluency. Third, when you are ready, try to retell an entire idea or a short story. This means you listen, you pause, and then you do not just copy word by word. You say the meaning in your own way. For example, you hear the sentence, "When I was young, I lived in a small village. It was very quiet and beautiful." Now, you can say it like this. He said that when he was young, he lived in a village that was quiet and beautiful. You are not just repeating, you are creating. This is real speaking practice. This step makes you feel like you are truly communicating, not just repeating. Fourth, challenge yourself with a big task. Try to deliver a whole speech, a story, or a conversation without looking back. For example, listen to a 2-minute story. Pause it. Then try to tell the same story with your own words. Do not worry if you forget some details. Just keep speaking. Use the words you know. This step pushes you to think in English and speak more naturally. It is not easy, but it gives you strong results. This method is called easy-to-hard imitation. You begin with small steps, and then you make them bigger. You start with short words, then sentences, then ideas, then stories. Each level helps you grow. It is like climbing stairs. You cannot jump to the top in one step. You climb slowly, one step at a time, and soon you are higher than before. If you practice like this every day, you will feel your English speaking change. Your words will come faster. Your sentences will sound smoother. You will feel more confident. And the best part is, you can do it all by yourself. You do not need to wait for a teacher, a friend, or a class. You can start right now. When you practice imitation, something amazing happens inside your mind. You begin to learn grammar without even thinking about it. You don't need to open a grammar book or study difficult rules. You don't need to worry about present perfect or past continuous. Instead, your brain starts to understand grammar naturally. This is the same way babies learn their first language. Think about it. A baby does not sit down with a teacher. A baby does not read grammar books. A baby only listens. The baby listens to the parents, to the family, to everyone around. Then, slowly, the baby starts to copy. First, the baby copies sounds. Then, the baby copies words. After that, the baby copies small sentences. Step by step, the baby learns how to speak. And the baby never studied grammar rules. The baby learned grammar by copying. This is exactly what will happen to you when you imitate English. You are doing the same thing. You listen carefully, you copy the idea, and you say it again in your own words. Without even knowing it, you are learning how sentences are built. You are learning where to put the words. You are learning which words connect together. And one day, you will open your mouth and speak correctly, without trying too hard. That is the magic of imitation. Now, I want to give you a challenge. Challenges are good because they push us to grow. Here is your challenge today. After you finish listening to this episode, I want you to find a short English story or speech. It does not need to be long. Just 1 or 2 minutes is enough. Listen to it carefully. Pay attention to every sentence. Then, pause the recording. Stop it, and try to say the same idea in your own words. Do not worry if your sentence is not perfect. Do not worry if you make a mistake. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to speak. Every time you speak, you are training your brain. Every time you speak, you are becoming stronger. Imagine this like going to the gym. If you go to the gym every day and lift weights, your muscles will grow. In the same way, if you practice imitation every day, your English muscles will grow. At first, it may feel difficult. You may think, I cannot do this. I am not good enough. But let me tell you something. You are good enough. You can do this. Step by step, your voice will become stronger. Step by step, your English will become clearer. Step by step, you will feel more confident. So make a promise to yourself today. Promise yourself that you will practice imitation every single day. Maybe only 5 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes. It does not need to be 1 hour. The most important thing is to do it every day. Small practice every day is better than big practice once a month. Remember, practice builds habits, and habits build success. And now, my friends, let us finish with a little inspiration. I want you to remember this. You don't need a partner to speak English. You don't need a teacher every moment. You can train yourself. You can grow your fluency by yourself. When you imitate, you are not only practicing words, you are building your confidence. You are building your grammar. You are building your power to share ideas. One day, you will look back and say, wow, I can speak fluently. I did it. And you will smile because you know that you built this skill with your own effort. So keep going, keep listening, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Thank you for being here with me today. I am so proud of you for taking this journey. My name is Liam Carter, and this is English Mastery Hubby. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, remember this. Practice every day. Believe in yourself, and your English will shine. Bye for now.